I'm live.
Can you repeat that again? Can you repeat that again?
It's hip hop. It's hip hop pioneer radio Rahim live.
Welcome. Welcome to the CHYNA NICOLE show. Hip hop pioneer radio Rahim.
Yeah. Good to be on the radio. You know, that's a lot of my history is the early radio stuff. And I love the fact that, hey, I'm on with you right now. And a lot of things going on. I don't know where we're going to start at. I'm sure I'll be back.
Yes.
To talk more about all the exciting things that happened and all the young millionaires that I helped create along with the other hip-hop pioneers.
I could tell this is going to be great. You're a natural. First, I want to big up to Miss Sharon Gordon. Big up Sharon Gordon, the entire CPRreggae.org crew, staff.
No doubt. That's my publicist as well.
Yes, big up to Sharon Gordon and Carlisle McKetty. Sharon introduced me to you, and it's been great. And I'm glad that introduction was made, and I couldn't wait to interview you. So let's go. So tell us now, where were you born?
I was born in Charleston, South Carolina.
And when did you come to New York?
Came to New York 1965.
What age was that about?
I was about 11 years old.
Okay.
Telling all my business right now.
That's okay. So what type of student were you when you were growing up?
I was a above average student when I was in South Carolina. And when I came to New York, I fell into, like most of us do, laid back. So my student grades became lower when I came to the city. But we quickly picked it up when I got into high school and college.
So the transition from South Carolina to New York, would you say that was a pretty fluent transition? It was flawless. It was fairly easy for you to get acclimated with the New York public school system.
Yeah,
it was easy.
It wasn't easy.
It was not.
Call everybody ma'am. See, we have in the South we have so much Southern manners.
Yeah.
So that had a good. The manners are always good. Always good to have manners, but they didn't take to me too well because I called everybody, yes sir, yes ma'am.
Right.
And my teachers told me to stop calling them ma'am and sir. Mm-hmm. But that was manners to me.
Right.
So I grew up with a lot of manners. My early upbringing was a Southern upbringing. My hands in the soil. We had a farm. My family had a farm. My grandpa. I didn't live on the farm, but my family had a farm, so we used to go to the farm on the weekend. So I understand a lot about agriculture, and the farm is still there till this day. And when I get a chance to go down south, I get up on the farm. So I love the fact that I'm on this show talking about my early beginnings.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So does your family own the farm? I missed that. Did you say that your family?
Yes, we still own the farm right now in Georgetown, South Carolina.
That's awesome. So now, you've evolved into this educator, social activist, and freedom fighter. I would say, in my own words, and hip hop pioneer. Yes. Tell us now. Early on, what did you aspire to be when you were thinking about
CHYNA NICOLE. I always aspired to be someone who could communicate with music. I had early elders legendary last poets, who helped me understand to be more about the message than the money. So I got caught up in a good training, good development of understanding the importance of the message that needs to be delivered. So I love music, and I think I always want to be involved with music and radio. I love radio.
Yeah, radio's fun. Radio's great. You know, you don't have to come dressed up every day. They don't have to scrutinize you. Oh, she's not matching or you're not matching. They get to really hear you, which has a different effect, you know, hearing versus being visual.
That's why I couldn't wait on to get on your radio.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to talk to you. So early on, you wanted to always be involved with music.
Communication. To move people.
You knew that from early on.
Paul Robeson, you talk about Paul Robeson yet, but you're going to get to that.
Yeah, we're going to get to that, yeah. Yeah, okay. So, all right. So what school did you go to when you graduated in New York? What school did you graduate from?
I went to state high school or college?
High school.
High school, I went to this school called, it was East New York. Now it's Transec. But it was an all-male school because I wanted to focus on my education because women will always get me distracted.
What was the name of the school back then?
It was called East New York Vocational and Technical. And I learned how to make radios in that school.
You're kidding?
Build, radios. Yeah.
That's
East
cool.
New York Vocational and Technical. It also had an airplane course. It's right on our way to the conduit. It's now called Transit Tech.
Right.
But that was a great foundation for me to learn about radios, the inside of radios.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So in high school, I think that's great. New York's public schools I thought was always great.
Yeah, New York Public School, East New York Vocational and Technical. Big up all the other folks that went through there. Transit Tech right now.
Yes.
I went on to school to the State University at Farmingdale University where I studied marketing and business, and I actually also had an opportunity to run the radio station there for 3 years. Radio station manager there. So that was good. That was my college.
Yeah.
And I did a stint at New York University. I didn't finish because I started making money in hip-hop.
Right.
Early hip-hop.
Okay. This is good. All right. Look at me. Okay. All right. Okay. Because you're dropping so much knowledge. All right. So when you mentioned The Last Poets, was that during your high school years or college years?
My college years.
Okay. So
they needed someone to help them with marketing, and they hired me.
How did you meet them?
1972.
Yep.
1970. Actually, I met them early before I went to college. So when I graduated in 77, they hired me in 1977 to help them do their marketing and their promotion. So I helped them sell 1 million records without airplay.
What?
1 million records without airplay. You remember, your audience will remember there was a time where you could not have music, revolutionary music, uplifting music on the radio. People had to go buy it they didn't play the music on the radio. The Last Poets.
A lot of similarities to Bob Marley's story, and so many other stories. So many other stories.
He was a big fan of ours.
Greats, that could not get airplay because of the social consciousness. And I got to tell you, to prepare for this interview, I looked at so the Last Poets videos on YouTube, and there was one that struck me, New York. And would you say that they use satire? If you're thinking about, literary devices, satire is when you're kind of making fun. You're making fun of it, but people may not recognize you making fun because they're saying, yeah, welcome to the Big Apple, New York. And then they go into this, but there's cocaine and there's, they talk about the drug scene and all these other things that are so negative about New York. Do you feel that they use satire as one of the ways to convey, really point messages?
Right. Yeah, I would agree. No question. I mean, it's the ancient African tradition, the oral tradition, that the Last Poets and poets before them, that the rap industry now, the hip hop industry now is, using. It's been around for so long as I can remember.
So that group. Let's go to because that $1 million question. How were you able to market and promote this group, revolutionary group?
Word of mouth, people to people. It was good.
Like $1 million.
Good like that. Yeah, 1 million copies, more than 1 million, without radio airplay.
How did you tell us? What's the strategy? Come on, what's the strategy?
The strategy was this: you have a good product that people want, so you make it available any which way you can. So you put up, you do direct mail, back then we did direct mail, and we did a lot of hand-to-hand combat, which is person-to-person, flyer to person to a flyer. That's hand-to-hand combat. You got a flyer. You got a flyer. You got a CD to promote the music. That's how you do it. That back then it was vinyl. It was vinyl. So the word got out, and people rushed to the stores to get it because they know they couldn't hear it on the radio.
So okay, did you use the radio as a No, you didn't. Okay, because you just said you didn't use the radio. So I'm just thinking, word of mouth. I know word of mouth can be very powerful. So did the Last Poet also, perform, like where the Sugar Hill Gang, or I'm just thinking people in the 70s, were they performing in those arenas where other hip hop artists were?
Yeah, they was. They done the Apollo. They did the Apollo on tour around the country, and they had very famous artists who, they performed with Stevie Wonder. They performed with Parliament Funkadelic. They performed with Jimi Hendrix. They performed with all the major artists, opening act for a lot of major artists. Curtis Mayfield, they opened up shows. They were hot at their time, very hot because it was something different, and they had a lot to say positive. So yeah, it was a time when the Last Poets was on everybody's lips.
How did you keep track of those sales? How do you know you sold 1 million records?
Oh, well, they have all kinds of ways to people around the country, letting us know, and
so
you just got a sense of that. The record companies didn't give us the proper royalties, but they did recognize that they had sold over 1 million.
Wow.
And this is that's the first group that sold 1 million records without radio airplay.
So they did have a deal.
Yeah, they had a record deal for sure.
What label?
Douglas Records. Alan Douglas. Right? It was an independent label from Europe, but they were distributed by the United States company. I forgot the name of the company.
Right.
And there was a few things happening now currently that I'd like to talk about maybe another time. But Hustlers Convention, if you're listening, go Google Hustlers Convention. It's a new movie documentary with Ice-T, all of them touting the Last Poets. One of the main Last Poets' name is Jalal. Hustlers Convention. Your audience should definitely Google that and find out as much as you can about that. It's an epic movie on record. One of the powerful records there. Kool and the Gang plays some music on it. It's really, really, really powerful documentary film that's going to be coming out. We're going to do some screenings as well. So I'd like to talk to your audience about that later at some other point.
Right.
This new movie documentary called Hustlers Convention.
Hustlers
Convention. Where all the rappers are giving homage to the Last Poets.
That sounds fascinating. I can't wait to get my hands on that.
KRS-One.
And watch it with my son.
Light.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rocking.
Go ahead, KRS-One. Love him. Who else?
Yeah. Oh, bunch of folks. Like I said, so numerous. Fab Five Freddy. All of them. Who
was very instrumental in Shabba Ranks' career? I just want to point that out.
Oh, really?
To my reggae audience and international audiences. Yes, because Shabba Ranks just did an interview, and he said and Fab Five Freddy actually called up on the interview, and he said that he directed 5 of Shabba Ranks' videos, and he was one of the first ones to really introduce him to the international scene, as well as Dr. Dre and Ed Lover. So I didn't know that. So there's so many things.
He's in the movie. He's in the movie too. That's good.
Wow,
I didn't know that. I did know that.
You did. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Oh, okay. So okay.
I did know that. Yeah, he's one of he's one of the pioneers. Definitely a friend of mine, and he's in that documentary. Called Hustlers Convention.
Yep. You're so good. You know to repeat it. You're good. Okay.
Well, if I'm good, you keep me coming back.
Absolutely. So, okay.
Well,
so that kind of, I don't know if you don't, I hope you won't be offended if I say militant movement, because, it was at the time deemed radical for it not to be played. Do you agree with that term, militant?
Yeah, I was definitely, they would say, it was too mild for the militant and too militant for the mild.
I see. Oui.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So, how did you get these tours going? The record company only gave you distribution, right?
Yeah.
And you were able to you had this group open up for Curtis Mayfield, Stevie Wonder, Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, it was a hot thing. It was a hot underground record. It was a hot underground record. It's like, like your audience could relate to this. Mixtapes?
Mm-hmm.
Well, before mixtapes, there were underground people doing their thing on vinyl. I mean, but, some of them had distribution deals, some of them didn't. So there were groups of people who just loved it. It just, just brought it, and they played it wherever they could. And you didn't need the radio to break it. For that kind of record, like, for example, there were other like Red Fox and all these things were maybe advertised on TV in certain markets. They did that, but yeah, for the most part, you have to come up from just knocking on doors, and being out, on tour and selling your product when you're at the tour, buying your product wholesale from the distributor and selling it retail at your events, at your venues around the country. That spreads the word.
You make it sound so easy. You know that, right? You make it sound so fluid. There's a term, mellifluous.
It's a strategy.
My teacher used to say.
Strategy, CHYNA Nicole. Just like when you do your music and I get turned on.
Yeah.
You gotta have a strategy. I love what you. I don't talk. I won't blow your horn, but yeah, you sing the songs.
Thank you. Thank you. So the heyday for The Last Poet. When did all of this kind of, dismantle?
I would say during when one of the poets died in the late 90s. Things and then the way that hip hop came in with all the negative,
music.
I would say language.
Mm-hmm.
And the gangster rap, I think at that was a time when nobody could really the new upcoming artists couldn't relate to the poet.
Question.
So they faded out.
Right. But you said 77, but you said in the 90s. So were they still active during the 80s?
Yeah, they're still active. Even to this day, the poets are still active. It's just not in the mass media. They're still gigging. One just came from Jalal just came over from Europe on a sold-out tour of Europe or England, a couple place spots in England.
Are you still involved with the group?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so where could people find that information in case they want to, in the event they wanted to listen to, the lyrics and this underground group that sold 1 million records?
Yeah, grandfatherofrap.com. Grandfatherofrap.com. That's one site, one of the poet sites that get a lot of information from.
That's excellent. This is great. All right. So
upcoming Paul Robeson, I want to talk about, before you let me go.
No, we're not going. We're not going anywhere yet.
Okay. All right, good.
I just said all right because I'm closing out that segment of the interview. Let's talk about Do the Right Thing. I just reread that it was a film that was actually nominated for an Academy Award. I didn't think about that. It must have slipped me over the years. It's been so long since that movie came out. Tell us about how the character was inspired by you.
Yeah, one of my best friends, my brother, his name is Kwame Olatunji. His dad and his mom, my family became close, so he became my godfather. Olatunji, Baba Olatunji. So I was in a relationship, a really good, positive relationship, where I was able to be in an environment where the culture was really strong. So the Olatunji, Kwame Olatunji, he passed on. He was a good friend of Spike, so he introduced me to Spike. He taught Spike Lee film, and the family, was very close to Spike Lee's family. Bill Lee, the great jazz musician. So one of my best friends introduced me to Spike. Spike was watching what I was doing on a DJing tip, and he used to come to my parties. And I was, one of those persons out there who really proactive in, music promotion and on the radio and doing events, award ceremonies for unknown artists. And just an individual in the community would take music to the streets, take the music in the park, play music in the parks. So around 81, 82, 83, Spike was more or less really digging how I was getting down. And in '89, him and Chuck D, when I went into this recording studio in downtown Lower Manhattan, this is while I was partnering with Russell Simmons on a project earlier in 1983, I did. So when I went into the studio, the funny thing happened. They were producing, they were doing Fight the Power music track.
Oh, wow.
And so they invited, I went in.
Public Enemy.
Public Enemy, P.E. Chuck D. He's also executive producer of the Hustlers Convention movie that people can go online and take a look at the trailer. Well, it'll be out at the end of the month. But it's but anyway.
Shout out to Earl Holder who works with Chuck D. Earl Holder masters a lot of their Earl Holder masters like a lot of their music. Public Enemy. Earl Holder. Yeah. So I just had to plug them. Yeah.
Pick up to Earl Holder.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they was doing the record at the time, Fight the Power. So him, Spike Lee, and Chuck D. When I got into the room, they said the original Radio Rahim, and I'm like, okay, all right. I didn't know what he did in the film. I didn't know, but later on I found out that they put it in there. Mm-hmm. So they started calling me Radio Rahim. Chuck D and Spike Lee started calling me Radio Rahim in that day in the recording studio, and when they were doing Fight the Power.
That is.
And I didn't, because I didn't call myself Radio Rahim.
They gave you that name.
Calling me. They started calling me that, and then my friend told me later on that I should use that name, as a promotional tool, and I started using it.
So that's incredible. First of all, congratulations. That's so awesome. So Spike just looked at you as a just this interesting individual and wanted to write something about you in his film. Right,
and about me, and like there's many Radio Rahims out there, people who are activists who are using music to make noise. I just got blessed in such a way to be at the right place at the right time, or surrounded by the right folks. We take a lot of our stories from life, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I happen to be lucky. I'd be blessed, you call it that way, to be, but the only thing I don't like is I shouldn't have been killed in a movie.
I was gonna, you're too ahead of me. I mean, come on. So was there anything in the character that you kind of identified to say, you know what, that does have a little piece of myself. I do see myself in that character.
He took creative liberty, there. But the part is basically, about justice, about speaking out about issues. That's me. Using the radio to give messages. That's me.
Oh.
Love over hate. That's me.
That's great. That is.
And so many of us. So many of us.
That movie was nominated for an Academy Award, an Oscar. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I didn't make no money off it.
But still.
yeah. But it's good. It was good. It was definitely a good movie, and it's still gonna. He's doing a lot of things around that movie now.
Isn't that great?
So,
does he say, okay, Radio Rahim, did he actually tell you that it was?
Yeah. When I went into the recording studio and was doing Fight the Power.
But that was it. Like there was nothing afterwards. Nothing afterwards.
Like what?
Like when the movie finally came out, because that was during the meeting.
Of course, I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was. When people write people into the script, you got to be doing it in such a way where you don't have to give them no money. Mm-hmm. You follow me? If you use too much of someone's character in a film, they could actually sue you. Right.
So have you followed up with him, Spike Lee, at all?
What? Well, I'm good. I don't need to follow up.
No. Well, just say hi. It's great.
Yeah, we talk. When I need to talk to him, I do. Okay. I'm not on a bad relationship with him.
Okay, good.
Like a lot of artists will tell you that they're doing what they have to do, and they don't want to be chasing after other artists.
Right, not chasing after, but just kind of still keeping in touch.
If I need anything from Spike, I'm sure I call him and I can get it.
Okay.
I'm sure, but I'm not. I'm more focused on my work.
Right. All right. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about. I saw the video clip with for Paul Robeson School, and I saw teachers, which I identify with. I'm a teacher. And
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
Nope.
Well, yes. I went. Okay. It's not about me, but yes, I'm teacher and administrator and certified administrator.
Oh, nice.
I work hard for that. Very
That
hard.
Really? I didn't know
Big
that.
up to all the teachers who went to school and showed discipline through your work, and all A's. I got all A's, my master's and my 6th year.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So anyway, so I saw the teacher just, in a distraught moment where she was really upset about the school being closed down. And so were the neighbors, and everyone in the community rallied around, and the students were really, just fighting for their school to be open. So talk about Paul Robeson. You take the mic. Take it away. Talk about this.
Take the mic.
Take it away. Oh yeah.
Because, they got this thing now. They dropped the mic.
You're taking the mic because you have something incredible to say, and what you have to say is very important about education. So let's go. Take it.
Yeah. Well, Paul Robeson was one of the outstanding members of our community who led the way for artists to use their skills, their artistry, to liberate their people. So I was fortunate enough to be surrounded by my mentors who got the permission from the Paul Robeson family to open this high school called the Paul Robeson High School in Brooklyn. And from that relationship, I developed a relationship with the Paul Robeson High School students who were disgruntled with the type of education that they were getting, and they were being told by the administration that they were failures. And the students and the parents asked me as an activist, as a hip-hop pioneer, to come in, and I'm a parent organizer and a parent trainer as well, to come into the public school, Paul Robeson High School, in 2002 to help them develop an action plan against the administration of the Department of Education, who was really actually underfunding them and claiming that they were failing school. So I went into this particular school, Paul Robeson High School, not knowing that I would have such an outcome from this. So we organized with the students, and we organized with the parents. The students decided that the parents wasn't moving fast enough because of the parents. Parents are very caught up in their day-to-day lives. So I would go into the school twice a week and teach them about social justice and values. So after a while, the students decided themselves to do a teach-in, a walkout. They walked to bring attention to their school and the issues around their school. They decided to do a teach-in. They walked out on May 1st, and there are videos online. It's called the Paul Robeson Students School Walkout. So what happened was these amazing students decided to put up a video on YouTube. It went viral, and the students and everybody caught on to it. And you had over 1,000 students from other schools join in the walkout and made history. And then
this was May. Was it May this year?
No, 2003, I think it was.
Okay, because I know you said 2002 is when the campaign kind of started, and so 2003. That video's from 2003. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what happened was we did a very successful. The video went viral, and it was very successful in terms of organizing the students and bringing attention to the miseducation that was going on in their high school and other high schools. Really powerful video documentary that's up online. People can watch it. So from that, we decided, along with the students and with the Paul Robeson family, to create our own private community-controlled school. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm speaking to you from the Paul Robeson Freedom School, which we're going to be having an event on a fundraiser and a one-man play, a Jamaican brother. His name is Stogie Kenyatta. He's a famous actor. He does a one-man play of Paul Robeson on the 26th, along with CPR, Coalition Preserve Reggae Music. We're going to be here at the Paul Robeson Freedom School in Brooklyn on Clinton, 520 Clinton. So you guys will be able to check us out online and find out about that. So that's where I'm at right now in terms of education. This is my 4th year in private community control school. We run it during the summer, and then we run after-school programs. We run 6 weeks in the summer, so we're in our second week right now, and we run from 8:30 to 3:30 every day except Friday, and we give the students a cultural education as well as a hands-on practical knowledge of different things. You know, they plant their food, they cook their breakfast, they cook, and they go on cultural trips.
All right, question.
So I'm at the Paul Robeson Freedom School now.
And this is all so exciting, and kudos to you and those beautiful, brilliant, articulate kids for just coming up with this, idea. They're the ones. They're the genius, and I think every child is born with that. And that's students are just amazing, and we sometimes underestimate their intelligence. So kudos again to those kids. Now you said, let me repeat exactly what you said. Private, community-controlled school. Does this mean that it's not a charter school?
It's not a charter school.
It's only a program after school and in the summer.
That's right.
What happens during the school year and during the regular hours?
During the school year, twice a week we have a community dinner where we bring in the parents and give the parents firsthand knowledge of what's going on in this school community, issues that they need to push up on, they need to deal with. So twice a month we have a community dinner. So what we do is like we are like a think tank of
That's nice.
Educators. Yeah, educators who realize that you can never expect the oppressor to truly educate your children. So I got a few educators who are in the system, and some of them retired from the system, who donate their time.
Well, everyone from the
services.
system is not bad. There are really good people in administration.
It's good. Yeah. It's good people in the system, but the system itself.
Well, there's some loopholes there. Yeah.
We'll argue. There's been arguments left and right about this, so maybe this is not the show to go on. So, however,
you're talking to an administrator too. No, but listen. What I'm saying is now but the action plan. Would you say that it was in favor? Would you say that it was successful? The action plan that was drafted for, funding and to think about the curriculum being placed in the school system.
We're going on 4 years now with a few awards under our belt.
What? Congratulations. Congratulations. So now that the school is under the radar, do you see more effective teaching going on in the classrooms?
Not at some schools.
Do you see a change? Do you see progress from prior to 2002, 2003 when the video went viral? Do you see progress as far as teaching, staffing, the curriculum, the partnerships in the community?
Yes, I see that there's movement in a good way. Even the mayor had his people come look at our school. Good.
That's excellent. That's excellent. Yeah. So
but again, it's it's community controlled. So it's something that
and you need that. The parents can't do it on their own. Not in this day and age, not in America. It's difficult. You need an entire community. So I think the thought process behind it is you're on the right track, because oftentimes schools fight to get parents to come into schools and to support when for the behavioral issues or whatever issue that goes on, social issues that goes on. So you need that. So to have a community program as a cushion and as a partner with the regular program. And I hope the staff at the school does jive well with your program. Yeah. Okay, good, because that's always I mean the principal, the administrators, and the teachers. That relation with the after school program. I hope that's going positively.
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's good. That's great news.
Oh, yeah.
You're making change. You're still making change, Radio Rahim.
I love it. I love
still
teaching.
Making change.
I love teaching.
Yay. Good for you.
Yeah.
Good. What's next? I know this amazing film is going to come out.
What's next?
Community Connection.
Well, next is coming. Well, next is a few business entities that we're going to be involved in. Production of we're going to be opening a bakery next.
Okay.
We're going to have a community-controlled bakery that the students are going to be baking their own cookies and bread, and a training program in Detroit, Michigan, and we'll pilot it here as well.
Good for you.
And expanding to Detroit is next, too. The Paul Robeson Freedom School will be expanding to Detroit. So what's next is, what I'm doing here, CHYNA Nicole, is duplicatable. What I'm saying here is at the Paul Robeson Freedom School, which is a community-controlled school, a private school with community help. And so this is duplicatable, and so we'll be going to Detroit.
That's great. Expanding.
Yeah, we'll be setting up in Detroit.
You know, kudos to you. My son was in a few programs that helped him and me as a single mother. So, you know.
Oh, you know it. You know, parents need to be educated.
Yep.
And they need to know how to address the issues. They need to, if they don't know how to address the programs and the issues that's confronting their students, then they won't be able to advocate for change. So we help them identify the issues at hand.
And just having a program to go to that is all about excellence. So kudos to you. Any last words? We have to take a commercial break. Any encouraging words that you'd like to leave your fans and audiences and new fans that are gravitating to you, listening to you right now?
Yeah, bring your dreams into reality. Don't hold back.
Bring your dreams into reality and don't hold back. Can you repeat one more time where your event is going to be happening?
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's going to be July 26th at 6 p.m. at the Church of St. Luke and St. Matthew. The incredible play, one-man show, Paul Robeson, the Jamaican actor, world-famous Stogie Kenyatta will be doing Paul Robeson, July 26th, along. Supporting us will be the Coalition to Preserve Reggae Music. That's July 26th.
Thank you so much, Radio Rahim, Rodney, Radio
And you can go online and find us, CHYNA Nicole, at www.paulrobesonfreedomschool.org.
Bless you. Thank you for being with us today.
Okay. Thank you.